I always think maybe I should make the intro longer so we can rock out a bit longer. But then people probably don't want to wait for like more than 30 seconds at least, right?
It's a good intro. I like it.
I
Another
love that
30
stuff.
seconds is good.
Yeah, exactly. So, welcome everybody. And for everybody watching, but also we have two guests today. And so, this is Unpack the Stack, which is a live stream in which we literally unpack stacks and learn together and go deep and geek out and stuff. And so, today we have two guests, and we're talking about Chakra UI and especially the View variant. So, who wants to introduce themselves first?
Well, let's get started.
Go for it.
I'm Sybren Willemot. I'm a front-end developer from Belgium, currently working for Eurocom. And I am a core member of the Chakra UI View team. So that's why I'm here, I think.
Yes.
And
You did an amazing talk on Vue.js Amsterdam. That's why I invited you.
Yeah, that's how we got talking, right?
Exactly.
No, I also really have to say that I had a blast at Vue Amsterdam. That was super cool. Yeah, I don't know if there is anything else.
I think you know everything about Chakra UI, so that's why you're going to
well,
talk to us about that stuff, right?
know everything. That's a big word.
Exactly.
That's why I brought Jonathan. He knows
exactly.
everything.
It's a nice bridge. Talk to us, Jonathan.
I think Sybren knows a good chunk. I would say he knows most of what's going on. But yeah, hey everyone, my name is Jonathan. Most people call me Jonas. I'm one of the commentators at Chakra UI. Work mostly at Chakra UI View. I authored the first version, and currently we're working on V1. And I'm very excited to be here. I've been on stream before with Team, so this is really nice to be back again. And I'm excited. Today we're going to do some awesome stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see because the stream we did previously was a long time ago, like years. And it was also about Chakra UI. And I kind of want to see the difference between where we were then and where you are now. And so maybe with that in mind, Sybren, let's talk a little bit about the basics and stuff. And so I think you have prepared something, right? If not, I'll just dive in and ask you 1,000 questions.
Well, what have I prepared? Well, I got. Let's see if it works. Okay,
let's see if it works. That's always good.
Yeah. No, but let's drag it to my other screen. That's the thing that's not working.
Yeah, and then you have to click share, and then I'll put it on the stream.
Yes, perfect.
So, Jonathan, while Sybren figures this out, tell us about what Chakra UI actually is.
So Chakra UI is a component library that I like to think of as a UI engine, as opposed to just like components. They are components. The deliverable is components, but it's an engine that allows you to express your design system, and the language, so to speak, is the components and the tokens. So Chakra UI is fully accessible with and it's compliant with the WAI ARIA component standard for authored UI elements, and we also have a very powerful theming engine inside of Chakra UI. So if you want to build components that are fully styled, you can do that, or if you just want to. If you also want to unstyle them, you can strip out all the styles from Chakra UI. It's also possible to do.
Awesome.
So it's very, very flexible, extremely flexible with theming.
I think Sybren has it on the screen now. And so what exactly did you put on the screen, Sybren?
Well, what I pulled up is a starter for Chakra UI View. So what we have is just a little showcase of what Chakra kind of can do. And I really like it because we have like these multiple colors. Jonathan added those. And we have also the feature of dark modes in there. So yeah, this thing, it just, I would like to pull up the code for this a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
To like show what we have, because like Jonathan said, we have a lot of in here. We have components like here's my code. We have a bunch of components, like for example, here it is. I wanted to show the button. Let's start with something very simple, right? So we have a button, and
There we go.
here we go. So if you look at this, you just import the C button from Checker UI package. The nice thing that here in this start happened is that we don't need to do that, as you can see here, because we have a auto import of all the components in here.
Oh, cool. It's a
So
little
all
bit like
the
what Nux does, right? So it
yeah,
just auto finds it and you kind of just inject it.
yeah, which is
Cool.
super cool, super easy. So we can just add more components in there
Any
without.
button or any component that you know, you will just be able to import and run.
Yeah.
So, quick question before we dive into this.
Mhm.
So, there's multiple approaches to like design systems and component libraries, right? And what I'm seeing here are relatively low level ones. Like I see an icon button and a button group and a stack and a div even. So, am I right in assuming that this is kind of like the atoms and the molecules of what makes up a bigger system? And so
Yeah,
you take these small ones, put them together, and bigger stuff happens. So it's not like Tailwind UI that would give you like a whole hero component with 5 different renditions of image left, image right, stuff like that.
no, indeed. That's absolutely correct what you say.
Okay.
We have like components that will allow you to build all that crazy component stuff that you're talking
Hmm.
about, like the hero, the carousel. It's in there. It's
Yeah.
Chakra will provide it, and you can use them to build that. And so if we look at those components, we also have the thing that the theming of our components, it's not really opinionated. Yes, we
Okay.
have a starter styling because of course you got to start somewhere, right? So we got a theme that ships with Chakra to get you started, but you can override it and you can style all your components, like everything the way you want. So that's super cool. Just by extending the theme, just using the theme API for this. Um, but let's first look at if we want to, for example, style our button. So I don't know. We got this started button, getting started button here. And you can see we have a property in here, the style prop size.
Yeah.
So and it has a value LG. So to style Chakra components, you have to use style props. Just really easy, just a property that is just for styling, right? And then the values you give it to, well, they come from the theme object. And I know, for example, we have a value large in there for the sizes, and that one will be translated into I don't know how many pixels.
Well,
But
that's something you can define yourself later on in your theme, I imagine.
also, yeah,
Okay,
totally,
cool.
totally.
But I imagine your out of the box ones are kind of, they probably just work.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
And other things that we have are like let's say what I'm looking at here right now is a right icon. You can see this is a dynamic property, so you can also like put in JavaScript stuff in there, like the
okay.
external link icon. I'm
Yeah.
probably
So is that a
pretty sure.
component itself, or how does that work? What is external link icon? Ah, there we go.
So there we go.
That was easy enough.
So it is a, let's say, component, yeah, which is just a SVG version, if I'm correct, of a I don't know, icon, external link icon.
Oh yeah. So one of
So
those link out ones, the
yeah,
little
let's
arrow.
just real quick, like
Oh,
this is
there you
this
go.
one, this is
Yeah.
this one. So that's the button we're talking about.
And so can you
Um,
go back to the code, because what
yeah,
I see there is it's like composition API but a bit extra fancy. What is
um,
happening here?
yeah. Well, not exactly sure. Maybe Jonathan can pick in here.
Because this is a
Yeah.
TypeScript file, right? And
Yeah,
it's defined component which comes out of Vue.
yeah,
But then what is happening here?
yeah.
Yeah, so this
So
is a this is a it's a so this is a component file created using the TSX using TypeScript and JSX. For those of us who are probably watching and use React a lot, you can also use TSX in Vue in case you're thinking about migrating over.
Yeah, this is very cool.
And yeah, and you're right, Tim, about this being TypeScript and this being a component. So we're using the composition API as well. So you can see the setup function for
Exactly.
under the defined component property, and you can return a render function. So this is using both the composition API, but also the render function API. And the beauty with like render functions, if you're familiar with TSX, you're using render functions already. The beauty with render functions, it allows you to drop down a little lower. But if you don't want to write your components using render functions, you could totally use the template. Chakra UIV will still work as well. I just prefer to write like the lower level components as using the render function in case I need like render level control. But application level, like more higher level components, kind of like the ones you see like the app.view, it's just probably better to write that as a template, and you can mix and match them in your Vue app, which is one of my favorite things about Vue.
Yeah, and so this kind of to me looks like this return is actually a function, and because it's JSX, that return just writes a rendering, right? Because I remember back in the day when we had like options API, we had to use the H function to render stuff. Is this the same, but due to the fact that it's TSX, this just works?
Yeah, it's the same thing. So it actually will. So Vite is doing some magic. So typically, you have whenever you compile a TypeScript file, when TypeScript transpiles it, you have to import the H function, which is the render function at the top. And what it does is that Vite will inject it. If it recognizes a TSX file, it will inject the H. It will also inject the fragment as well.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, but you don't need to do it here, right? And Vite has also installed the Vite plugin JSX.
Okay, that was my next question. There we go.
Yeah, so it's doing the transformation on the fly, and like it's actually compile down. It will actually eventually compile to render function. And if you inspect the browser one time during development and just check because usually you'll see that where the file is being imported from. You can, if you look at the file, it's actually already transformed from this to render function API.
Oh, nice. All right. Sorry for that external question, but I'm learning as I see new things. I'm just going to ask. So, okay. This external link TSX file, this is something you built yourself in this demo. So this is not something that comes out of Chakra itself, right?
Yeah, and the reason why I built it this way is just to also kind of showcase that some of the primitives that Chakra UI ships. So if you notice, there's this little like factory called Chakra at the top, which you import.
Exactly. Yes.
So yeah, so this is we call it the Chakra factory. So if Sybren, say for example, were to type, you could actually change the tag from like SVG just to kind of break it, and you can change it to something else. It could be a div, it could be an leave, right? A div, right? It could be a button.
Oh, it wants to do dot value because of proxies somehow.
I don't know why. Okay, now my follower is like messing with me.
Oh, this is Vollard.
Yeah, Vollard is messing with me.
Taking
close to file without saving. Yeah, I've been there before. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so basically you can add any element in front of the Chakra, and it will render that tag right in the dock.
Okay, so you have Chakra actually render tags, and if you do it that way, obviously it will probably do whatever accessibility if needed, like an image. I imagine it puts an alt tag by default or some stuff like that.
Oh, so okay. So I think in this case, since it's a primitive, why we made a factory is so you can style it using style props, right? So as you can see, for example, there's this line height property on this SVG.
Exactly. So that's interesting for me. How does that work?
Yeah. So line height is not actually an HTML attribute, but it's a CSS style prop. So what we're doing is we actually extract the style props, and that's what generates the styles for all the class names. So if you open the browser, for example, maybe Sybren could look at this, right, and just inspect the element.
Probably this one.
And you check the class name for the SVG.
Just going to zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so you can see the line height on the fourth line of the style, declaration, right? Line height 1 EM, right? So why we created this factory is so I can still write a div, but if I want to like write attributes as like styles, we can still do that, right? So you just do it in one place, and it made
That's
it very
very
simple,
cool.
so you can move very fast. Yeah,
It's almost like the Tailwind approach, but then feels more native somehow.
yeah.
Like if
It's
you,
like a mix of both.
yeah. And so, Sybren, do you know how this class name, the chakra, and then whatever else random thing that comes behind it, how is that created?
Well, that's like generated thanks to emotion that we are using under the hood.
Okay. Okay.
So we have this prefix, chakra prefix. So you know that's these classes are all, yeah, linked to chakra, and then the other stuff behind there is just from emotion, if I'm correct.
Okay. So these style properties that you use, emotion kind of understands those.
Yeah.
And then, so how will you do cascading stuff like this? You cannot, right? It's all inline
So
styles, basically. I'm
yeah,
gonna be
it's
annoying
basically
question
inline.
guy tonight. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
So, no, it's absolutely right. So if you wanted to say target, say a child element, we actually have we have a special prop for that as well. Um,
Yeah.
so a
Ah,
special like a fancy thing, because I usually get this question a lot about Chakra UI. Oh, there's so many props. Like how do you declare them on the component? Well, actually,
Like this
they're
one.
not all props. They look like props, but they're actually attributes. So what we're
okay.
doing is we're playing around with the attributes property that's being passed in, and
Mhm.
so when you declare a component, you can still declare it with its own props, and Chakra UI will handle the attributes. So that's what we're
Oh,
playing
that's
with.
cool. So
Yeah,
I could make like a view component that's actually a Chakra UI custom thing. I can add my own
yeah,
props plus the style tags and all the other stuff.
exactly.
Nice.
That's essentially what this is. This external link is. Sybren was going to show you how to do
Yeah,
the
what was the
cascading, for
SX
example. If
that
you
I
want to
saw?
do, yeah,
What's
yeah, it
happening?
was
So
SX.
SX,
So
if I'm correct, that's
oh, yeah, there's a little typo there. So I think on usually in JSX you don't need to do the colon for dynamic props.
Oh yeah,
You
exactly, because
just
we're in JSX now.
yeah.
Oh, hey, we have
yeah.
to
So
get
you can
used to this, man. I like it though.
yeah
So we have to use it this
yeah
way. You have to correct me also because I'm also not that used to using it these days.
yeah.
But I'm sure it
No
now
worries, no worries. So
we
it
have
should be
to.
SX, not XS. Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
okay.
go.
And there's TypeScript for you.
Yeah, there we go. And so
And
now
then
you
one
can
curly braces combination, and then inside there is just JavaScript now, right?
yeah. So now you can write any style object in here. So you
Oh,
could
and now you
create
would
an
write a style object like how you would do it in React.
exactly. So like how you
Yeah,
would do
if
it in
you
React.
if any ideas because I don't know.
Oh, so we could, for example, in here, let's create another object.
Yeah,
Another
and you can do
object.
fill red or something for the path below it.
Yeah. So you could say you could type path as the key, and then another object, open another object, and then give it a fill of red.
Oh, so
Fill.
this is how you would. Oh, wow.
Not that.
Yeah.
Not the ref.
Yeah. Yeah. So you could do red. This could be actually any. It could it could be red, like the actual CSS red, or any red in your theme as well.
Oh, yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why it's okay. So we also you mean like 500 red 500 you mean?
yeah, totally.
And
This
this
also
would
is
work
good.
as a string?
Yep. This would
What black
this would
magic is happening here, guys? Lots
so
of parsing
so
going on for sure.
yeah. Chakra is doing a lot of like a lot of interesting things under the hood. So what we do is we could go into this like into the theme. It's really interesting. So when you have a theme object inside of Chakra UI, when you start up your when you set up your project, what Chakra UI is going to do is it's going to transform your entire theme into CSS variables. So
Yeah.
much as you are doing, like say red dot 500, that's already been flattened, so it would still be an operation
Mhm.
of O of one. So we'll just apply that CSS variable to this element. So
Yeah, you just put the two dashes in front and it's almost already there. Yeah, exactly. That makes
exactly.
sense. Cool.
Yeah.
It's a bit like how
So
Tailwind also
Yeah.
prepares that stuff to be able to be added. Yeah.
There you go.
yeah, there
Oh,
we
that's
go.
cool though.
Path is now
Like
red. Yeah.
my old school feeling of how I used to work is very uneasy right now. But
Mhm.
if I just let that go and look at how easy this is and like useful, I had the same when I started doing React and JSX related things where I felt like, hey,
Mhm.
why is this so awkward? But actually, it's not. This is just
Mhm.
JavaScript like this.
Yeah.
We're literally just
Yeah.
doing JavaScript. It's actually like more low level, basically. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had I think I did also have it. I mean, it's funny because I was like building this thing, but I was like, I can feel everyone's eyes looking at me like, what is
Yeah,
this strange thing? But like the speed at which I was able to build my applications was like, I couldn't fight with that. You know, you can't,
that's the
you
thing.
can't, you can't debate it. So it also did make me kind of appreciate the different paradigms for building applications. Some people prefer
Yeah.
templates, right? Apologies, my camera
Yeah,
just
your camera. Yeah, it's been 30 minutes. You're gonna have to restart.
yeah,
There we
we're
go.
good now. So some people prefer templates, right? That's also fine. You can still do the same. Actually, you can actually do the same thing inside a template, right? Some
Yeah,
people prefer JSX. You can still do the same thing in JSX. You prefer render functions. You can use the same render function, API. The whole idea is like Chakra UI doesn't. We don't want to get into the way of how you want to build your components, but
exactly.
you can
Yeah.
still theme them, right? So there's some constraints, but the constraints are more on the theming side as opposed to the actual
Hmm.
how I choose to consume them, right? So if you want to, you could even style your whole app. You could define your theme and then and then just use CSS variables the rest of the
Yeah,
of
potentially
the.
that could work. Yeah. And so, Sybren, can you show me some stuff where, well, I'm not sure if we just destroyed your demo or not, but let's leave that red in there.
It's
Um,
cool.
so it's not just HTML and CSS that comes out because I see you hovering the colors and suddenly backgrounds change, right? So
Yeah.
how do you define how that works, for example?
Well, the color change stuff. I have to also say that Jonathan looked into this
Okay.
part. I can
Is-
go over. Let's start with maybe just the color mode, like a
Yeah,
dark and
sure. That's a good start
CSS
because
you
that's
have here,
also it's a state
light
somehow,
and
right?
dark.
Yeah, there's a different
Yeah,
state here. So I kind of tell me how that works, and then we can find our way to
yeah.
the more complex stuff.
So if you can see maybe in here, you will also see that there's stuff changing in there, as you can see. So there are a few things in there that will change, and one of the most important things will be here the dark,
Yeah.
the
Oh, it's a
data
data
theme
theme
dark.
tag. Okay.
Yeah, and that will like help Chakra out to know in which color mode we are. And it's cool because if I don't know what's going to change, let's say this the text in here. I'll also
Yeah.
have a data
So
theme dark.
yeah, just have a little thing to add here. Like, sorry. So
Yeah,
just
go
to
ahead, go ahead.
intercept. Actually, what changes is like Sybren mentioned, like you can see the data theme attribute. This only applies
Yeah,
to Chakra UI components, right? But
Okay.
at the very top of the application, if Sybren could scroll to the top, there's this HTML data theme, right?
yeah,
At the very top. So if you know the
Yes.
content of this of the style sheets will not change. What we just change is that one variable, and that so within the css, since it's already been pre-generated, there is already there's already dark mode and light mode styles, so we're just
Yeah.
playing with
So
the css cascade at this
yeah.
point.
So it's
But yeah,
literally just a different CSS selector for the one group or the other group, and
exactly,
so it's like
exactly,
yeah.
like square bracket open data theme dark square bracket closed, and then the rest of the CSS sits in there, essentially.
exactly that,
And so
exactly that.
does this also listen to like native OS dark or light stuff?
Yeah, you can do that using the so when you create the application, maybe Sybren could open the main.ts as well. there is
Yeah.
there
Hang
is
on.
Yeah. So when you create a new Chakra UI instance, there is an option to when you extend the theme, and inside the extended theme, you
It's
could look for
should be in
theme.
here.
Yeah,
You mean in here, right?
It's in the
This thing.
yeah.
theme.
That
Oh yeah, here
is
we go.
It's in the theme folder.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah, I see it. Yeah,
There
yeah, cool.
exactly. Yeah. So there is an option to define the initial color mode. I think it's in the if my memory serves me right, it should be in under styles, maybe if you put a no, there's an option called config. Sorry,
Do we
it's
have
just
no?
under.
No, it's in here, right? In the main.js. No.
It might be. It should be in the extend theme, no?
Yeah, it should be in the extend theme, but I don't see it.
Maybe in the global styles, the file above it.
Yeah. So no, it's actually
No.
in the property when you call extend theme. You can add an extra property. So if you just add a comma here, just type config, see if IntelliSense will. No.
Your TypeScript is not helping you today.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why we need to publish our documentation.
Yeah.
But, you could. What about the under styles? If you go to styles and the styles property and try to go config here. All right.
It does not like it.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I know where it is. I will look at the source code.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you've written the source code, you can find it relatively easily normally, right?
Yes. Usually it should be that straightforward.
Yeah. But let me then just go ahead and talk a little bit about this extend theme function.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's go
because so what we have, Chakra UI comes with a theme with some styling to get you started, like I said, and you have the option to extend a theme. And what this thing will do, it's a function that will like merge the two themes for you.
Okay. So this overrides the default, like an object extend style thing in JavaScript.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it will override stuff that's already in there. So let's say if you want to under colors, you have probably a bunch of green shades, and you want to say like, I don't know, somehow you want to change them to red in there.
Yeah.
It will override, but also a new things that you will add here will be added there. Like for example, this velvet color. I'm pretty sure it's not in the default theme. It will be added in there for you.
And so, quick question on this one. So let's say I add velvet, but I don't use green at all. Now I render my app. It goes through the build steps. Is green then removed from the original styles?
Okay, so by default, I'll answer this one. Sorry.
Yeah,
by default,
annoying question time.
No, it's good. It's good. I like this. So by default, if you use the base, like the default, like this default theme, Chakra UI will inject the same styles as well, the same object for that. But the good thing is that these are usually typically CSS variables. It's not compared to Tailwind. What Tailwind will do is it will generate CSS for all the properties related to
exactly.
Yeah, Chakra UI does not do this. We only use the keys you define. So even if we include it, it's a lot smaller. However, if you want to strip down to the bare minimum, we can try that. And maybe Sybren, you could import a function called extend base theme. So
that's from
this will just.
We're now going to in the belly of the beast now.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's just like a feature that the Chakra has.
Just a feature. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
So it will be instead of extend theme.
Yeah, then extend base theme.
Okay.
So you could guess this has like stripped down everything. All the defaults have been removed, and it's basically like installing a component library without the styles now, right? So you could go ahead and maybe open in the browser.
So
it should look
now actually your base theme is literally just these things that you added.
Yeah. So
nice.
It has stripped out all the CSS for the buttons. It's the only thing it has. These are items I defined. I wanted this font size,
and that's why they are here, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, if you look at the HTML tag now, there's an inline style on the HTML. Are those your root CSS variables?
Oh no, I think these are coming from Arc. It looks like Arc browser, maybe.
Oh, it could be the browser that injects something.
Probably.
Oh, I can see that.
Oh,
it
yeah,
says Arc.
Dash Arc.
Yeah.
This is Arc stuff. Chakra stuff will be like prefixed with dash Chakra.
Oh, okay. Just like Arc, basically. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Browsers are screwing with our brains.
Yeah.
All right. So Sybren, are there talk to us about a few more basics, and after that, I actually want to give this a go, and you guys should guide me somehow.
Yeah, sure. So another thing though, wanted to, because now we're flying from one thing to another.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Um,
That's my fault.
but that's okay. So I want to skip this and take a look a little bit into the source code of Chakra.
Okay, sure.
Um, so I got it open here. And what we have, we for example, we have a bunch of components. Probably way too small for this. So
Yeah, you
let's
can just do
zoom it a little
command
bit.
plus and go. Yeah, that's cool.
So as you can see, we have a bunch of components. I'm pretty sure we still need to add a few more. Um, but to build those, well, we are going to use something from the Chakra verse. So the thing is that Chakra UI View, well, it's not the only package in the Chakra verse. You also have Chakra UI, which is for React. It's
Hmm.
mostly the same thing, but they're a little bit more advanced than us for now. Um, but then we also like tackled other issues. Let's say.
Okay.
So you can already see an issue here that we have Chakra UI for the React and Chakra UI View for Vue,
Yeah.
and most of the things, most the ID is the same. So the like the ID is the same, and most of the components, the logic behind it, it's also the same. So for example, I got the pin output open here. Pin output. I got it in here. So it's
Yeah.
this thing that just where you can
Oh,
put
cool.
in um, numbers or
And
whatever.
so the fact that you actually type something and then it blurs and focuses the next field, that's from Chakra JavaScript.
Well, yes and no.
Ah,
So here comes the
I
thing
like it.
that one of the issues we had was in the beginning when we started. We had now two code bases to code in and fix bugs in and stuff, because when we, for example, use the pin input, well, the logic behind it is the same as the pin input in Chakra UI React. I'm going to call it
Yes.
React, but just to make it clear. um, and so when they had an issue or we had an issue, it was like very possible that we both had the issue. So I had to fix it on two places at once.
Yeah.
So it was like multiple work, etc. Also, when they came out with a new feature, we had to implement it too, and wait around. So for the components with the logic in that stuff, well, the Chakra team came with an idea of building these components framework agnostic. So all the
Okay.
logic of these components are built with state machines,
Mhm.
and this is built into a package called ZagJS. That's also why I'm showing this
Yeah,
documentation.
exactly. This is the SecJS.
Yeah, so ZagJS.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. So it is the logic of the UI components that we have with state machines. State machines for all the, let's say the logic and all that stuff. And it also has all, or like a lot of the accessibility attributes in there, like the blurring and that stuff. Well, that all
Oh, okay.
happens in Zag, thanks to Zag.js. Because here it all happens. And the nice thing is that we, in the Chakra UI View repo, we can just use these components, the components from Zag.js, and then build on top of them.
Okay, so SecJS is basically it's part of Chakra, but it's actually external. But
Yeah.
do you always use them together, or you can choose without?
Well, we have them for the logic of the components under the hood in Chakra.
Okay.
So
Okay, cool.
they will ship with Chakra if you use Chakra. But you can use Zag.js on your own. So if you're like, for example, I don't know, just want the component logic, because they're all headless. They're like there's no styling on Zag.js components.
Okay, so they're just input fields and buttons that have
Yeah.
listeners attached somehow.
Yeah. And what you can do is, I'm not right now, for example, React, I don't know, bit input. As you can see, you can style them thanks to some data parts in there,
Mhm.
with just vanilla CSS, for example, or you can add Tailwind if you really want for on top of there.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
cool thing about Zag.js. It's styleless and it will help you write the logic of components like way faster because you don't have to
But
do
they're
it.
not the components themselves, or they somehow are also components plus state, and then with Chakra you just grab these and basically enrich them to become Chakra UI components.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's it. So
And so is every component in Sack.js matched in Chakra UI?
I don't know
So
exactly if we have them all yet.
so yeah, I'll just add a little bit of context
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Hmm.
for the so with Zack.js, there, like Sybren mentioned, why we built it was there's a lot of like behavioral logic that we repeat, across multiple frameworks.
Yes, of
What
course.
Zach just wanted to do is just expose this state as some, I don't want to use this functions or some variables, some as machines. Yes,
Yep.
as state machines. All this logic,
Yeah.
just expose it to us as state machines.
So error
That
state
that
or like this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, they could be error states. They could also be component like interaction states. So for example,
Hmm.
if I have a pin input of say x length, how do I know when to focus the next input, for example? Because it's a pin input, a
Exactly.
series of multiple small inputs, right? So
Yeah.
all this stuff we were replicating and duplicating. So what Zag just does is that it gives us the ability to create our own custom components, arrange them how we want, because all the like Sybren mentioned, Zag.js on its own is headless. It's just hooks. It's just hooks with
Mhm.
state for multiple for the components that you're trying to build, and then you can define your own custom components and spread the state onto them, using the attributes. So Zag.js will handle that. So what we did inside Chakra UI is we looked and we saw, okay, so we have all these multiple components that we have inside the Chakra UI API. How could we create them as state machines so we can share that logic across multiple
Yeah,
frameworks? And so we created, for example, a few like say, pin input, and some of them extended beyond just the component scope of Chakra UI. For example, there
Mhm.
are some state machines for components like pressable, right? But you could use pressable inside a button. You could use pressable inside anything that requires pressable state, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a lot more granular. It's a lot more lower level, but it's also good because now if I want to build my own dialogue, I don't have to now create my own, backdrop and then like do the accessibility stuff. It's actually very complicated to do this, to build like
Oh
a
man,
proper
I've
model.
been there. I've
Yeah,
driven the developers in my team to tears by doing a closed loop. Like you open
yeah,
the pop-up and then you hit tab.
yeah,
But the
yeah,
moment you focus behind the pop-up, everybody is upset. And so
yeah,
how do
yeah,
you
yeah,
close that loop? Oh my god. I wish we had
yeah,
this tool back then, but we didn't. We did everything custom. Like not
yeah,
it was all I think it was all native JavaScript. We didn't even use jQuery or anything. Oh man, I'm old. Anyways,
yeah.
I know the pain. And the fact that this
Yeah,
actually works now, that's super cool. So
yeah.
this is actually a TS file. So I imagine
yeah,
this TS file has mainly the types and the state of this pin input, right?
yeah. So what I
Yes.
wanted to show here, what we do here in this TS file, in the use pin input TS file, we're building the state of the pin input thanks to Zag.js. As you can see,
Yeah.
we import those. Um,
Okay. 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 Cool.
and the machine itself and stuff, that's all framework agnostic. The only thing that we need are a few things, like normalize props and use machine function to make it work with Vue.js. This is just a
Like
little wrapper.
when I'm looking at line 20, you can call it a composable all you want, but it's just a React hook, right? Look at line 20. This is just React hooks. Come on. What's happening?
Vue.js has become React. Yeah.
You know what? It works. So let's not complain.
Yeah.
No, but this is cool. So this machine has a state for the change, for the complete, for the invalid, stuff like that. But
Yep.
you receive that, that's already received. So you only just have to say, these are the properties that I want
Yeah.
to add to the machine somehow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can add
You could.
properties in there, like all these things.
And if you don't add the on change, will it still emit something, or do you actually have to do that like this?
It's a good
Oh, so
question,
it
right?
will. it will still like, so the machine will always be true to itself. Like this is what, because we define, this is what Zagjet will say, this is what a pin input should do, right?
Okay.
And these are the events we will emit. But you can choose to expose some events to the user, right? So let's say, for example, you see the on change here is just an event listener saying, emit this change event to the parent context, to the parent component, right? So that way, if you're building if you import the pin input component, you can also listen to the change event, right? So this emit is so it's the same emit that the setup context provides to any component in Vue.js. So the machine will always do the same thing. So this is the exact same machine that the React library is going to use.
Oh, that
it's
is
the same
very
machine
cool.
that the Solid, it's the exact same across all the frameworks.
It's like a blueprint.
You can now pick and choose.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Because you don't have to do the onComplete hook unless you really use it in your component, which is the TSX file. And so one quick question on these emits. You're not namespacing these at all. So what if you have 15 other components that also send a change emit?
Oh, well, so this emit will just go to the it's going to be emitted by the component that that initiates the state machine. So in this case, for example, if you call use pin input inside your pin input component, because the way it works is you have the pin input, then you call use pin input. That will import that will create the machine and expose the state only within the pin input. This specific pin input.
Okay, so it's not bubbling up to more global levels like native events would, because you initiate it in one point, and inside that scope, that's where it emits.
Yeah, this is the same as Vue's this dot emit. Literally,
exactly.
It's the exact same.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Go ahead. I think Sybren was saying something. You want?
Yeah, sorry, dude. Go for it.
No. I was indeed trying to explain that same thing, but you already did it, so no.
Yeah, there you go.
So what then? I wanted to dive into the cp inputs.tsx file. So yeah, we're using TSX here too.
Yeah.
And one of the let's it's big for me. So let's see what we do with this. So we're going to import that one machine that we just created. But I don't see exactly where.
It's on line 24.
Line 24. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the props from that same file. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and also the use pin input machine function there. And then we can use that in here. Where is it? It's way too big for me to. Okay, here it is.
Yeah, it's always the moment you zoom in, you lose overview.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is that we get an API from there. We called it an API. Where we can get everything out the pin input machine. So all the values, states that it is in, and then we just like how do you want to say this? Just put it inside the template inside the HTML, and then we destructure everything in there, all the props, and then we get the machine working thanks inside here. Another thing that I have is the pin input provider, which is a little bit more thinking of the name, provide inject. Like it's also, I think, very similar in React, right?
Yeah, it's the context stuff.
So that it will also be applied or available for child components.
All the children will be able to actually inject it.
Yeah.
So looking at this, it's not really for the faint of hearted, but then again, people tend to use this. It's already done, so people just use it on the front end somehow, and then it's much easier, right?
Yeah, we're really diving.
Sorry to interrupt, but if I wanted to make my own component, that's, I don't know, a pin input with 6 digits and a number or so, whatever, something else. I would do it like this, right?
I think it would be a little bit different. So in our case, like the reason why we have to make it like this is because other people are going to use our library for different. We don't know the use cases.
Exactly. So anything should work. basically.
Exactly. Yeah. So in we this is kind of like the extreme usage of Zag.js. But if you want
Yeah.
to just build a simple pin input, like you can just put in the machine, the whole thing is like literally there, and just
Yeah, I would
just
personally
in one
probably
file.
grab this machine and get the state from there
Yeah,
and just attach something to HTML, and it somehow works more easier. Like that,
Yeah.
like
actually.
this.
Yeah,
So
like
Yeah,
this.
like this.
that's what I
Yes.
wanted to show. What you if you're not losing like taking it away, we use it in Chakra, like really deep dives into it. This is the easy way to do it. I'm not completely sure. This I think
But
this
this
has
is
to be
pretty cool
distracted.
because, like the fact that this works like this with this SAC state machine, this on its own is really cool already.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Um,
if you want six
yeah.
inputs, you just add
Yeah,
multiple
you add more. Like I just go it, so
with a
you
new
just go a
index.
bit closer to the source. That's cool. So time is flying.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I think so. What should we do? Should we learn a little bit more about all the basics, or you want me to try and code something relatively simple that Jonathan prepared so we can see this stuff in action? What do you guys feel like? I'm happy with both.
I, I don't know. I was enjoying the learning with you. Like it's also
I'm
good
learning
for
a
me.
lot
Like
as I see this. You
yeah,
know what? Actually, Sybren, I would like to try. Like when I click a button, a pop-up appears, and I've seen the demo,
Yeah,
and I
well,
kind of just want to. Shall I try and build it? Yeah.
absolutely.
All
I
right.
think
Here we
that's a
go.
cool thing. Yeah, because
It's
now we
so much
know a little
fun.
bit about Chakra. So let me
Exactly. So I'm
stop
just going to
screen
share my
share.
entire screen. So, well, now you see Inception, but so this is the final
Mhm.
result that, and Jonathan, you sent this to us this morning or this afternoon. For you, it was
Yeah.
afternoon. For us, it was doesn't matter. So there's a few different buttons: primary,
Yeah.
secondary. There's actually this switch here, and then when I click
Yeah.
this, I actually get a state change, and I see the pop over happen. You see,
Yeah.
there's an X, and I can. Oh, it's like so. When I focus, you see, when I open this and I focus,
Yeah.
it's actually correct. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So it goes into the same flow. That's very cool. And so
Yeah.
um, we have. So this is the base state. Like this is your main branch that has
Yeah.
nothing, and here's the final state. So how about I do a
Yeah.
check out of this, of the
Mhm.
main branch, and then we just have a
Yeah.
look.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So what we'll try not to make it as like complicated as how we would end up doing it in Chakra UI. So it's just going to be one component, right? Um, but there's many different paradigms. But today let's just make a nice popover that works. Right?
Okay, let me just. Do we have the pads or not? Nah, we need more space. No
Distracted.
pets today. No pets.
uh,
Okay,
I wonder
so
what
I'm
the
just
chat
looking
says.
at. Okay, so there's PNPM. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you know the pack? What is it called? Like the package, the knee and I from Anthony Few.
I don't think so.
Then you don't have to worry about if it's PPM or Yarn or whatever.
Oh,
You just
really?
type in, yeah,
Go, run, do it.
yeah. You just type in NI for like Yarn install or PMPM install, PMP install, or NR. It's like
Oh, that is
uh,
very cool.
run dev. That's yeah.
All right. So it seems like the main branch actually has everything already.
Oh, is that the main branch or is it? I
Well, let me
think
check.
I might have made the other one the default branch. Oh yeah, it's just like you're on the final result branch
Yeah.
on
Oh, am I?
IMVS code.
Oh,
Yeah. So
mistake.
hey, no worries at all. No worries at all.
There we go. Yeah, I think the final result is the default one. Oh, now
This is
here.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I guess the first thing we can maybe try to do. Oh, the color mode is fun.
Sorry
Huh?
about
Just
I just
yeah.
click all the buttons. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
One cool thing maybe we could showcase here is that if you
Mhm.
if you toggle it to dark mode and then refresh the page, it will actually reload in the same color mode,
This is
and
very
it also
cool.
works for server side rendering as well. So it makes it so that you don't need to you don't see that flash. Like, oh, it's dark, then it becomes light.
Exactly.
So
That's what we need. I like this.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Let's build a nice pop-up, right? So
Yes.
um,
Do it.
I think
Where do I
what
go?
we could do is let's go into the app.view file.
Should we
Uh,
also sorry to interrupt, but
No,
should
go,
we
go.
start
Yeah,
with the
no worries.
main.ts file just to showcase how to get Chakra UI view in there?
Oh,
Yeah, maybe
oh,
Because
good.
it's
okay.
already,
Yeah.
you don't have to
Oh
go
yeah.
into
So
details of the extent theme of something, but just
No, but this actually kind
this.
of makes sense, right? This is you just use chakra essentially. You have a
Yeah,
create chakra function.
yeah,
This is cool.
yep,
and then the
yep.
option, a few options for the plugin. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine
So in
there's a
this,
few more. Yeah, here.
yeah, yeah. We can add more properties there as well in the future. So for now, we decided
Mm,
to use a function because it's just easier to create the instance and you get better
exactly.
TypeScript. So
But this is kind of also the way to go with Vue lately,
yeah,
right? If you want to use a
yeah,
Pinia story, do it this way as well.
yeah, yeah. It's just a lot simpler. Yeah. So let's
Okay.
go into our app.view, and we can start by just deleting everything.
Whoa, yeah.
And you know what, let's create a new template.
Oh,
Or yeah,
template
we can
first.
also use a
Sure.
script. Yeah, let's do a
Your
template.
camera is again
Oh yeah.
black
Oh
mode is
sorry, my
no
template's in
problem.
dark mode right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, and so the first thing we want to do in here is
It
let's
works.
just okay, it works. It works.
Yeah,
That's good.
exactly.
So let's create a popover component, right? We can
Yeah.
do that. Let's go into components. Let's create a new file. Let's call it. Do you want to use TSX or do you want to use a?
There we go.
Okay,
TSX.
TSX.
Cool.
Well, why not? Why not? Let's X. Oh, okay. Oh, so I don't think you need to use the script inside the TSX file.
Oh no, you're right. It's just okay. I have to
Yeah.
get used to this now.
Yeah. So let's import define component from view and define component, define component from view, and we can
Should
create a
understand
cons.
this.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So define component is it's a function that allows us to create a nice component
Yeah.
from view and pop over. Yeah, you just create a new component here.
I imagine it's like
And
this. Oh no,
yeah.
without the Curtis.
Oh no, we can use them. It's fine. You're doing the right thing. You can go ahead and do that. And let's give it a name property. And if you want, I like to give this a name because in the Vue.js docs recommend this. So if you're
Exactly.
building
Yeah.
components, name your components, Vue developers. And let's do setup. Let's create a setup function as well. In here, setup, and in here we will return a function. Let's return a function, and this inner function should return. Let's return a div, a JSX div, right? So let's return a JSX div.
Okay, in that case, we just do this, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So okay. No, in this case we don't need to do the quotes. So we can get rid of the quotes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of
and
course.
then we
It's
could.
JSX. I need to get used to this.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we could say like something like hi or yeah, and there we go. Let's export our component as well, our popover. We could. Do you prefer named exports or do you prefer default exports?
I don't know.
I prefer
I'm
named
fine
exports.
with both. Should we do named?
I like named, but you can do this. We could, if you want to do named, you could just put the export in front on line 3 in front of const. So
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
export
That
const.
makes so we're exporting the cons. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And then in our script, let's set the language to TypeScript.
Yep.
Because it's usually a good idea to have that. And we could.
I love how you can have a
set...
live view of how poor I type.
Hey, it's no problem at all. We're all the same. Kind of feels the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I think let's use a setup script. The script setup. We forgot to add the setup tag on the script.
Here?
On the script.
No, not
on the script. Inside app.view, there's another attribute on the script tag we call setup.
Oh, we just do setup. Oh, sure.
Yeah. And then we can import from our component. the advantage of having the setup, for those who might be wondering, is you don't need to now define your components again inside the component, and then the Vue just handles it for you. All
And it
right,
does
cool.
async by default, all the easy stuff. It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have
All
it
right,
now.
cool. Now let's put a popover inside the template. Let's see if it works. Let's see if we should see
We should
a
see
hello.
2 highs now.
Yeah, we should see 2
Here we
highs.
are.
There we go.
2 highs.
There we go. We now have 2 highs. All
It's
right,
a bit
cool. The
bigger.
next step. Oh yeah.
Quickly
Yeah.
do this for the folks looking at all what we're dealing with here. Here we go.
Yeah. There we
Bit
go.
big.
There's a popover. We named our component, so it shows up.
Pop over. Nice. Okay, cool.
Cool. Let's go to the Zag.js docs, right? So now we're gonna pull in our state machine from Zag.js. And
Zag.js.
we're going to let's go to get started. And on the left sidebar, towards the bottom, you'll see a popover. Lovely. And let's go. Oh yeah. This is fun, huh? Clicking. I do this.
Clicking things. We're clicking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. So we can just copy the names of the packages we want to install, which is popover. Yeah. These guys, and then we can npm add these guys.
There we go. Nice.
And this is how we install Node modules with pnpm.
Go,
All
we're
right.
learning. Cool.
Cool. All right, so we can scroll down a little bit and just try to maybe understand.
By the way, how this is explained is very good.
Yeah, shout out to Sage for working on these, and there's actually a whole team of people working on this to make sure like the documentation is very clear. So yeah, we can start by. Do you want to maybe understand how the popover component is structured before we continue, or
yeah, maybe that's a good. Should we just have a look at this one then?
Yeah, so we could just go up to the drawing you had before.
Oh yeah, sure.
This will make sense when you look at the. Yeah, so all components inside the Zag.js have an anatomy. So the idea of the anatomy is that each component has specific parts, and each part is supposed to behave a specific way. So you have a trigger, you have the arrow, you have the content, the description, as well as the title. Some of these are just like very simple, like the title and description is just adding ARIA attributes so that it announces properly to the screen reader.
That's good. So it says area content that it's like not, or that is readable or something like this.
Exactly. But you could change whatever you want inside it, so it's up to you. So
are those actually slots? Can I add any description from any component in there?
You can add anything that you would like to add in there. In fact, what we wanted to do is you could see here, right? The description is just JSX. You just add it in as like its own thing, right? Yeah. So let's look at the Vue JSX one, the Vue JSX tab.
Oh yeah, exactly. Here we go.
So this is what we are going to do, and we can literally just copy everything inside the setup function. Let's copy from inside the setup, right? From inside the setup. Yeah.
I think that would
all
be
the way up to. Yeah. That would be that. And
and we can actually put that in our setup, right?
Exactly.
Here.
And this should work. Of course, you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to import. Inside the popover setup.
The TSX file.
Setup. The TSX.
Oh, why did I do this this is in app.vue? I apologize. This is what we need to do.
Okay. Yeah, we can. I think you might have pasted in the wrong place. So we could. You see line 6. We need to get rid of everything.
This is it.
This is it.
But we need to load this.
Exactly. So we can just copy all the whatever line 1, 2, 3 from the examples as well.
Yeah, just get all the things. I like that they have the teleport stuff in Vue now. That's very cool.
Yeah, it certainly makes things a lot easier. And you can see we have a duplicate import there. And I believe with any luck, this should give us the result we want. Left side of comma operator is unused and has no side effects.
This
Why
is
is
interesting.
that? I don't think this should be a bug. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Let's see if we're missing something at the bottom. Oh yeah,
Oh, wait.
oh yeah. There may be
Let me
a
say.
closing tag. I see
So
another
this
brace
one
that
is
we need
that
to.
one. So what are we missing? Ah, another
I,
function. Oh no, that's here.
ooh. Oh, let's
Ah,
see
okay.
setup. Okay, I think we got the setup one, and I think the on line 33. I think that should just be yeah, just the brace, and then the at the very bottom should be that. Does that fix it?
Nope, it's not
Is that
happy.
like? Oh,
Okay,
it's
so
still
this
not
is
happy.
correct now. Okay, so then we have this setup goes here, which should be correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then this
Yep.
one is this. Hmm.
Gee,
This is kind of,
this I've not been baffled like this before in a long time.
no, no.
Let's see. No, the wrapper. Actually, don't think we'll need the wrapper for this one. Maybe we can get rid of it, just to kind of keep things simple at the beginning.
exactly. Oh,
Then
I thought that fixed it, but it doesn't. Oh, wait, maybe just
I don't
not a
know.
comma. Oh,
Maybe the.
okay,
Oh
we
yeah.
have it.
Oh, that was it.
With
That
the
was
comma,
it. That
it's
was it.
expected without a comma in the return. Ah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
always
that
a
was it.
comma, isn't it?
Yeah, commas and semicolons. All right. I think this should now render it in our app now, right? So
Let's
if
do
we
it.
go over there and try to, you know, if you click me, that should show something.
Whoa.
Boom,
Let's go over
boom. There
here.
we go. There we go.
So
Now
we have
we
state and likely area roles and a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's say.
yep. There
This
we
is what
go.
I like, guys. I really like this stuff. Look at
Yeah.
this. A
Yep.
pop over
Yep.
one popper.
Yeah. And the one is like the ID of the popover. So you could, if you have multiple, you could like give it different IDs, right? So you see the
Yeah,
ID on
here, this
line
one.
8. You can
Exactly.
put it. Let's call it team. Let's call it team. It should it should also reflect.
Change.
And,
Yeah.
so this is the team popover. So you don't have conflicts in your.
Well, it's kind of nice that you can actually now do stuff based on that unique ID. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And does this
Absolutely.
also set a key in Vue?
In view, the key.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, did it
kind
make a
of
key
key?
somehow? Well, you have a key tag in Vue, right?
Oh, the key attribute for
Yeah. Yeah.
for.
Sorry, that's what I
Oh
mean.
oh oh. Okay okay. So in this case, I think usually that is applied on the user side. For example, if you have
Yeah.
multiple,
Yeah, it's
that you
for the
want to
uncaching
apply.
of lists and things like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But in this
But
case, it's not. It's just a simple, low
this
level
is cool
component.
though.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you don't need it here. And it
yeah,
makes us a close as well. Nice.
yeah,
So accessibility is in place.
Yeah.
Expanded the whole thing.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
yeah,
indeed all handled by Zag.js. But as you can see, it hasn't have any styling yet.
No, we haven't
yeah.
actually done any of our fun chakra
Yeah,
yet.
we can, we can start. We can actually get started. Maybe the first thing we could do is make the button look better, right? So the first thing we'll do is let's just import a button from Chakra UI. And,
Okay. So
yeah,
I think we are not
import
using
C
any of
button.
these.
Yeah,
The
we'll
fun
use,
fact is you will need the H function.
Oh yeah, that's true. For JSX might require it.
JSX.
So
Yeah.
let's import C button, a big C button from. Oh
Nice.
yeah, there we go.
Nice.
And we can just
TypeScript for the win.
replace. Yeah, and we can replace the trigger. I think the trigger is maybe
The last
one that we
one.
want to replace. Yeah, and maybe even the action button. Maybe we can also replace this. The close button. Maybe let's use the close button prop, right, from Chakra UI. We can
Do we
import
have
C
that
close
too?
button. Yeah, there's a C close button. C close button.
This is
There we
cool.
go. Yeah,
Because I always
we can
worry
replace-
about making close buttons. But this is cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. You don't have to worry anymore. And we can actually remove the X in the.
Okay, the
yes,
close
X
I
from
imagine
that.
has an icon that is accessible.
Yeah, it's already there. Cool. I think if you save this, it should or at least have a nice looking button and like something that looks interesting.
Look
you
at
know?
that.
All right, cool. Yeah, let's look at least it's not where we want it to be, but it's good enough, right?
Oh, it's a lot closer than it was. Nice.
Yeah. Cool. So let's head on over to the theme directory. Now we're gonna do some theming. With Chakra UI, you can do some interesting custom theming. How much time do we have, by the way? Because this may take around 30 minutes.
-5 minutes.
Oh, -5? Oh my gosh. Okay.
Time is flying.
Why don't we do this? Let's do this. Let's copy the theme for the popover. I could describe it for you from the other branch. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's cool. Let's
We
go
could,
here.
We could go to GitHub, right?
The final
Yeah.
result. I'll just go into the theme
Yeah.
here. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
grab it. I'm assuming it's
Let's go
here,
to
right?
components. It's in components, in the components directory.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And in the button. Yeah, we can go to the go up one directory to the components. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
Pop over down there.
Pop over. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So inside here, let's copy it. Then we can explain it, right? We'll explain it in the editor.
Okay.
And
so
let's create a new file in the theme components. Let's create a new popover.ts. And we can paste it here. So a few things there are a few things happening here, right? So if you look on line 3 and 4, we have a function that we imported called create multi-style config helpers. So this is how Chakra UI allows you to style components that have multiple parts. So say, for example, you're building a carousel, right? You have a carousel container, you have a carousel navigation button, you have a carousel, slide, right? You have multiple parts in there. So you can define different theme styles. And if you look at line 6, now we're consuming the helpers, and we're saying we have base styles for the container, for the header, for the body, and the close button.
Cool.
Right? Yeah. So this is how you define them. You can even define hover states. You can create variants. If we had time, we could go into all that and see all the magic in there. But I don't think we have enough time right now. So what we're gonna do here?
Get this one in to see it look good. Let's have a start.
Let's put it in there. Let's put it in there. So let's go to the let's export it from here. Yeah. Let's do popover, and inside if you go to I believe inside index.ts under theme.
Yeah.
I might have maybe over at the bottom. Sorry, the next one under global styles. I might have overdone this organization. On line 2,
it's a lot, but it's cool.
Yeah. Let's go to line 2. You can import the popover. I think there's a way to just export all from one file or something, but I don't know why I didn't think to do that. On line 2. So now what we're doing is now telling Chakra UI, hey, we have this theme. Put it under the components field. So if you scroll down, there is a field for components.
Yeah, exactly. And so what is this exactly? What did I get here? That's this. Okay, cool. Makes sense.
Exactly. So what we're doing is we're telling Chakra UI about this new theme. Yep. So if you go to the popover file, popover.tsx, we're going to import a hook from Chakra UI called use multi-style config. Use multi-style config. There we go. All right. And let's create a variable inside our setup function called const styles. Const styles is equal to use multi-style config, and that it accepts a key, and the key is the name of the component, which is popover, right? So we could do popover. And then the second argument could just be an empty object, since we don't have any theming properties coming in from.
Oh yeah, and there's nothing to overrule whatever comes from there, I mentioned.
Exactly. So now we have this styles computed variable. So we have styles for the 4 different parts that we defined inside our theme. So if you go
and this
to
becomes computed directly, so you don't have to do any complicated stuff with refs or computed fields and stuff.
Yeah, no need to, just only maybe a few dot values, and
Exactly.
One more thing we want to import inside Chakra UI is our factory. Inside from Chakra UI is our factory. So what this factory does is that it allows us to the chakra. Sorry, I forgot to just the short underscore chakra, the short lowercase chakra.
Oh,
Chakra. No.
okay.
Oh no, not
Not
this
the
one.
under,
It's-
just
this one, this
chakra.
one's not. This one shouldn't be visible. I think I might have forgotten to remove it. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just typing
it's
stuff in. Okay, we have chakra here. Okay, cool.
yeah. So let's look at on line 26. Let's do chakra dot div, right? So send it to chakra dot div,
Ah,
and
yeah, I
let's
know
give
where this
it
is going. Oh,
yeah. So chakra dot div, and then on that same chakra dot div, we're going to do the same on line 26. We're going to create a new style prop. Let's do underscore underscore css, and in here let's create it's a dynamic variable. We're going to pass in the styles.value.container, value.container, and if you hit save and go to the browser, it should now apply your container styles to the popover. If you click
ah,
open
yeah, there we
now,
go.
it's applied. So we had three other styles, right? So we could
Yeah,
apply them to all the other different parts of the component. So this is how we build custom components inside Chakra UI. You've basically built the popover component for Chakra UI. We're just
Yeah,
doing this, but maybe in a more complicated, no, not complicated, in a way that allows us to organize our components differently, right? Yeah, I
exactly.
can see you're already going, man.
No,
Yeah,
this
so you
is
could just
super
apply
cool.
that. Yeah,
This
that's
is
good.
cool.
I like that.
I'm ready to
It was
go
already,
now.
yeah, and
You just
now
have
you
to get
could,
used to it a little. And my
yeah.
old school brain is just telling me why the heck I have two underscores and why does it feel
Oh
like I
yeah.
have CSS in JS and all the nightmares of the past are hunting me now. But
Oh dear.
oh wait,
Yeah.
maybe
So we have.
this
No,
is
yeah, no,
correct.
you're right. You're right. That's correct. So that's the body. So in this case, I don't think we need the popover style, the close button styles, because we're already using the
We
chakra
already
close
have
button,
one,
right?
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So in this case, yeah. So in this case, the reason why we have the double underscore is it's a lower level, like property. This in this case is like for a design system engineer to
Yeah.
say it provides an API that is high enough for a design system engineer to define custom styles, but also low enough for them to customize, and the parent props can override these styles. So
Yeah.
if you had, like, say, parent props from the popover, you
Mhm.
could spread them onto any one of these chakra dot components, and those would
Yeah.
still override your design system styles. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
nice sweet in between. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's just
this is how we
getting
build.
used to it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. This is probably not how most people use it, but it just shows you like the power you have, like, with building, very complex components with, like, dynamic themes as well from different places.
yeah,
Exactly. You know what? I think if you are, let's say, you're providing something for a huge, I think time is flying, so I'm just going to stop sharing for a second, come back to us.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, here we go. So yeah, because I only have one screen, so it's a little strange sometimes not to be able to see everything. Now, but like if you're building a big website, right, or a big application that has lots of sub applications in different states, this is amazing, right? And I've
Yeah.
been looking at like how people build apps, especially on the React side of things, with like the emotion, the CSS and JS, and all the stuff, and people kind of have to tool it up themselves. And
Yep.
then you get lots of memory leaks and complicated reflows of stuff when something happens, and all the styles need to be recalculated. And we've had lots of scary things go on like that. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
This is similar thing, but it's already built for you. You just use the
Mm-hmm.
tools and understand it and run. And the fact
Yeah.
that we did this and it is actually Vue.js, I don't know anymore. This feels like a new language to me, but it fits.
Yeah, it does feel a bit new, but like we could also like overly simplify it, so it's like just a
Hmm.
template as well. Like, there's many ways to do it. We just wanted to show you
And
some new
so,
things, TSX.
for you guys, right? How do you see the adoption of this in the ecosystem? Are there like genius developers like you guys that just go wild with this, or do you have very little amount of people doing this? Like, I want to know
Mhm.
because I work at a startup and our product is relatively new. and we
Mhm.
work on messaging, we work on onboarding, we have enablement, and then you kind of
Mhm.
figure out what's the best path for someone to go in. What is the best path for a developer like me who has never used this, but I have some experience? What is the best path
Mhm.
other than a live stream with the creators, obviously?
I just want to go ahead and say that probably 99% of people would not use or create a pop-up component like this
Okay,
using check UI view.
okay.
They would probably just import C pop-up pop over from the check UI
Oh,
view
you have
package.
it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because right now we really dived into how we also do it in the
yeah.
package
Like
itself.
if I now wanted to make the Tim pop over and make a PR to Chakra UI, I would probably do it like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But if
Ah.
you use it like in your website, you probably just use the C pop over and then add these. Yeah, the exactly same way that you added the styling in the theme,
Mhm.
and just add all the style props on there, like you did
Yeah,
in with the button, for example, when you
yeah,
added
exactly. That's
the
much
close
simpler.
button in there.
Yeah.
Probably that's what 99% of the people will do.
I feel
Um,
like I'm kind of being groomed into doing some PRs.
Yeah, we
yeah,
basically did that, I think, today. But Sybren is totally spot on that. Yeah. Most
yeah,
people just import the component. It's already
Yeah,
built for you. Is today we just wanted to show like the inner stuff, right? Because
exactly.
we were told this was going to be a meeting of nerds.
unpack. Yeah,
Oh
Just,
yeah, I'm excited
just
by this stuff.
we were like
I've now
unpacking
yeah.
it.
like the thing is I've been enabled now to at least be inspired. Empowered maybe not so much because there's just a lot going on. I kind of have to figure out how feet goes into this and how like for example when you look at like quickly share my screen um
Mhm.
here when we look at stuff like this, like you have to kind of connect the state and there's just a bunch of stuff that is like extra boilerplate that you have to get used to, but
Yeah.
when
I
you
think
read it
the
back it makes
boilerplate
sense.
was. Sorry, I might have interrupted you. I was just
No,
saying
no
that,
problem.
like, with regards to like the theme, I think I kind of overdid it. That's how I like to do my stuff. I like
Mhm.
all my theme stuff is here, right? But like maybe most people don't do that. So you can organize your theme how you want. Really, it's just a JavaScript object. At the end of the day, you can put it
Exactly.
where you want to have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome. Guys, I want to thank you so much. We're a bit over time, but if it is this interesting, I could go on for an hour now and build a website or something, but let's not go there because our poor viewers. Thank you so much. You guys were really excited and I like that. And you came really prepared and this makes me very happy. What I'm going to do is show this stream to my boss and say, hey, shouldn't we make a bunch of Chakra UI components and then match them to uniform components and build cool stuff? There you go.
there you go. That would be cool. That would be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
that'd be
excited
very exciting.
to dive in a bit more and learn because at Uniform we build our own design system. And because
Yeah.
we also have other people making integration, so they can use it, and it's basically like the C button, and the C call
Hmm.
out. It's similar,
Hmm.
and it's interesting to have a look at how deep this goes and what you can do with it versus how other people build it. Let's say at Uniform. And so
Hmm.
I like to find patterns, and I'm not sure if I can find them yet, but it's really interesting at least. All right,
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
you go.
Thank you very much for having us.
Uh,
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you for joining us. And so, Jonathan, where can people find you online?
Oh yeah, I'm usually on Twitter, codebender828. Um, yeah, that's there we go. I'm in dark mode again.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just putting in code. Like somehow I typed code beast, but it's code bender. Oh, and I also
yeah,
did not write it correctly. Wait.
it is code bender.
Yeah, here we go. And
Yeah.
Sybren, yours I know. I'm gonna write it
Yeah,
in here. Oh, it's actually also in your name.
yeah. I took the privilege of changing
Yeah,
my
exactly.
display
Ah,
name.
so that's how you do it.
You can actually, that's how I have it too. Thanks, guys. I really enjoyed this, and I'm going to be diving deeper into this
Yeah,
soon. Cheers. Take care.
awesome.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.